Now let's move on to fuel economy. Key objective for every manufacturer these days is to improve fuel economy and to lower emissions. So key contributors for improved fuel economy are optimizing weight, maximizing the aerodynamic efficiency, reducing parasitic losses, and of course introducing more efficient powertrains. So we have made significant progress on all of these aspects on the new car. This chart shows you where we've worked and we've been able to achieve up to 88 kilograms of weight reduction. On our volume model, which is the 1 liter EcoBoost, I would say we are in average 50 kilograms, but we have models which, well, the way it's saying on a like-for-like comparison is up to 88 kilograms. And we have done this basically by looking into virtually every single part of the vehicle, as you can see on this chart. And I'm only going to talk to a couple of examples what we have done there. So there are three main areas how we've achieved this. One is advanced materials and technologies. We have comprehensive attention to detail and we've used innovative design. So if you look to the body structure, body in white, we have been able to achieve a 16 kilogram weight reduction. And despite the fact that we've improved the crash performance, that we've improved the stiffness, 16 kilogram net weight reductions despite of the enhanced performance of the car. We'll also show you some examples of comprehensive attention to detail. So, for example, on a lot of our standing parts, we have taken the flange, which is used to weld two parts together. We've taken that flange to a completely level of design by scalloping out all of the material which is not required. So we only have the little tabs where the spot welds sit on, and for the rest we've taken the flange away because that flange has basically no function. So that is just one of the examples. But I'll show you another one. Another good example is the innovative design of our bionic skeleton on the front knuckles. Here you have a picture of the knuckle of the outgoing model and the knuckle of the new car on the other side. By applying new CAE methodologies, we have been able to take 1.8 kilogram out of one knuckle. And at the same time, we have maintained the same stiffness, the same functionality of the knuckle. That's just one example, and there are more examples. If you are interested, we can take you through more, but I think I'll just leave it for the time being. So, we are very proud of what the team has achieved in reducing weight across the vehicle. Now let's move on and talk about aerodynamics. And what I want to do here, I want to do a little bit of a historical excursion into aerodynamic icons in the automotive industry. You will know many of these cars on the chart, and you may have driven many of them, maybe with the exception of the 1922 Rumpler Tropfenwagen, but that car is on the chart because you can find it in basically every handbook about automotive aerodynamics. But I think this chart makes it very clear how fast the industry has developed and where we are with our car. So you can see on the right hand side, the new Focus 4-door has a CT value of 0.250. And to compare that with the Tesla, if I would have asked you, most people would probably have said the Tesla is probably one of the most efficient cars for aerodynamics. Our 4-door is better than the Tesla S. It is significantly better than the 2010 911 and light years away of the Testarossa, for example. Yeah? Right, now let's move to the 5-door, which is probably more interesting. So the 5-door has of course got all of the goodies which we have on the 4-door, but due to the different body shape, we are not able to achieve exactly the same aerodynamics, but we have achieved a value of 2.73, which is the best in class by a big margin aerodynamics in the segment. And how did we manage this? We managed that through a number of actions. Number one, 100% deployment of active grille shutter. Improved sealing, improved ducting on the grille shutter, and then we optimized the airflow around the front wheels, and there are two very neat features. And one is the air curtain. So all of our front ends have an opening next to the fog lamps, and that allows that one part of the air flows around the fascia, another part of the air flows through on the inside of the fascia. The two air streams come together, and that gives a much more nicer airflow around the wings. So if you see that on the cars, it's not just a design gimmick, it's really a functional part which we've developed in very close cooperation between the design team and the aerodynamics team. We've also added new 3D front wheel deflectors, which also improve the airflow, reduce the pressure on this part, also a better flow around the wheels. And what we've also done, we've spent a lot of time and a lot of effort to make the underbody smoother and to come up with better shieldings on the underbody. So the team spent hours and hours and days in the wind tunnel to develop these parts. So you can see we have a tank shield, a rear axle shield, diffuser shield behind the axle. Even the heat shields in the tunnel have been redesigned in a way that they also act like as an aero shield and help to improve our aerodynamic performance. On top of weight and aerodynamics, we've also looked into further reduction of parasitic losses. So we've come up with a completely new lineup of tires, and in average, the rolling resistance of our tires is 20% lower than on the outgoing model. We have even one tire where we've been able to reduce the rolling resistance by 25%. And that all without compromises to handling, steering, ride or road noise. We've also spent a lot of time to change the design of our brake calipers to make them more stiff in order to reduce brake drag. And the brake drag has been reduced by 2/3 versus the outgoing model, and is now really at a value which is class leading in the industry. So let's now move to the powertrain story, which has of course almost the biggest impact on fuel efficiency. As Joe already mentioned, we have a completely new lineup. We have two new EcoBlue diesels and a new 1.5 liter 3-cylinder EcoBoost petrol. And on top of that, a significantly upgraded version of our award-winning 1 liter EcoBoost. All engines have now improved 6-speed manual transmissions, with a new unit already recently launched in combination with the Fiesta with the 1 liter EcoBoost.